Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You are listening to the Mustang Informative with your host, DJ Husky.
And DJ Sawyer.
Welcome to the show. We're bringing you the latest in on and off campus news. First things first, we're going to jump right into the weather for today, according to the National Weather Service, which is right now, today it is fair outside with it being 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty cool, but it's not overbearingly cold or anything. It's better than the 40s and 30s we had last week. We have a humidity of 82% with a northerly wind of 6 miles per hour. At the moment, the wind chill brings it down to only 54 degrees Fahrenheit and 12 degrees Celsius, so we only have a 1 degree wind chill, which is nice.
I'm okay with that.
Tomorrow, or today, you can expect the high to be around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So it might be warming up, hopefully, in a bit. With a 30% chance of showers, so let's hope that doesn't come to fruition, because whenever it starts raining, it usually gets colder. That's been the trend as of late. You can also expect the 30% chance of showers to go in tonight with a low of 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, you can expect a high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit with a slight chance of showers, but with it predominantly being sunny throughout the day. Tomorrow night, you can expect a low of 40 degrees with it being clear. And those clear skies are expected to stay here on Friday with a high of 62 degrees and it being super sunny. And with a being clear into the night as well with a low of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday, they're predicting it to be sunny with small clouds with a few clouds every once in a while, with a high of 62 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 42 degrees Fahrenheit, with it being partly cloudy that night. Can't English today. Sunday, it will be mostly sunny with a high of 66 degrees Fahrenheit. So it looks like we're getting into the warmer part of the year. It looks like the winter is starting to leave us.
I am so excited.
Once again, I will go into the mountains and dig a burrow and hibernate for the summer.
I'm so excited about this weather. Not necessarily the rain, but the higher temperatures.
Right.
I'm pumped about.
Well, as long as it doesn't get above the 60s or anything, I'm fine. But we both know that's not going to happen because we have this brief period of nice weather before it gets really humid. It feels like I'm being broiled alive. All right. So that's the weather for today. Moving on, Jessica Sawyer, why don't you take it from the top with our verse of the day?
All right, so today's verse of the day is found in Joshua chapter 1, verse 9, and it says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." That's from the English Standard Version. I love that verse. That's been one of my favorite verses for a long time.
It kind of instills that courage that a lot of people need just in day-to-day life. So, once again, that's from Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. But yeah, moving on from the verse of the day, we're going to jump straight into the breaking news. And the first breaking news headline is actually on the home front. Now, if you were conscious yesterday, you would have known that we had a Super Tuesday yesterday, which is a whole bunch of preliminary voting for the Democratic primaries to see who would be taking the bid against the current president, Donald Trump. So we had some interesting results. A lot of people I saw online on social media were expecting a Bernie Sanders blowout. He did take California. However, Biden took the majority of states, including Texas. So it looks like Biden right now is the front runner, with Sanders being being behind him. So it looks like it's going to be a two-man race. Although Warren has not dropped out yet, but Mike Bloomberg has. So after spending $500 million only to get American Samoa, Bloomberg says, "Hey, maybe it's not my year."
It's an interesting turnout. Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect from the Democrats, but that is definitely not what I expected.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's interesting that Biden. It was really interesting because he had a middling start. Kind of. It
yeah.
was a really weak start with Sanders looking like he was going to be the sure to win
hmm
Democratic candidate, but
And
it's
whenever I looked at it yesterday, like I went home and voted yesterday, but
right.
before I
As did
left,
I.
I ended up looking just like the candidates because I honestly don't pay attention to politics, and so I was trying to figure out who was where, and Sanders was above Bernie at that point, or not?
Yeah.
Wow, Sanders was above Biden at that point. My bad. So I'm actually really surprised that Biden ended up winning out on that one.
Right. And yeah, it is surprising. He got a lot of the like the core states in the south, and what I think that kind of says is, you know, he Sanders was able to get California, which is obviously the biggest prize, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you have more center like Democratic bodies in the middle of the country are probably more center left than Sanders is. So it's not really, when you think of it that way, it's not too big of a surprise that Biden was able to run away with that portion. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. What happens as these race comes to a close. Because once again, we're basically down to a two-man race. I'd be really surprised if Warren held out. But regardless, they've got to finish this strong if they want to have a good showing against Donald Trump, who seems to, he's already kind of started running his campaign stuff. So it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting.
Definitely.
Surely they cannot run a worse campaign than Hillary Clinton.
I sincerely hope not, because that was rough.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting. This is going to be one of the more interesting elections in recent memory. So
I already like it better than the last one.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what, because we already had. It'll be interesting what the American people think of Donald Trump after having 40 years and whether they're going to back him or fall out from under him. So, but we'll have to find out come November.
Yep.
So, moving on to other top news, going back to coronavirus, which we've covered extensively over the past few weeks. So there have been antivirus measures taken throughout the Middle East and Western worlds, including Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Italy. So Saudi Arabia has banned citizens from performing the Muslim pilgrimage in Mecca. Italy weighed closing schools nationwide, and Iran canceled Friday prayers for a second week as nations scrambled Wednesday to control the coronavirus outbreak. And real quick, I just want to say I am reading this from the AP news outlet, so if anybody's interested in reading on these further. But, it seems like there's a real crackdown on the coronavirus, and nations are actually starting to kind of recognize it as a threat, which is interesting because, for a while, people have been, a lot of the media has kind of undersold it and said it's not as dangerous as even the flu, but now that it's here, I think it says we have around 3,200 deaths at this point.
My word.
And South Korea right now actually accounts for 80% of the new viruses outside of China. But at this point, the World Health Organization says that 3.4% of people infected with the COVID-19 virus globally have died. And while that doesn't seem like a lot,
That's a lot.
that is quite a bit, because that also makes it more fatal than the common flu. So at this point, it is, at the very least, if it's not threatening to extinguish mankind or anything, but
It is not the plague, but it is still dangerous.
the economic impacts right now are being felt with the governments having to kind of play audibles. And America right now is having some trouble getting testing done. We're having some bureaucratic breakdowns on that front. So let's just pray that.
I did read the other day that we have had our first coronavirus death, though.
Yes, we've had 6.
Have we had 6?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Whenever I looked at it last, it was just 1, but it is still not rampant in the United States, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully, hopefully it will.
We've been quarantining everybody, so
Hopefully we can get it. Well, it was weird. I saw somebody that had supposedly kicked the coronavirus that was on like a news outlet, and they were like coughing, and they had their little kid with them who also had it, and they were coughing, and she was drinking water, and he like took it and he drunk from it and then gave it back to her and she drank. I was like,
Gosh. No, we've
I
had
was like, we're gonna get slammed by this thing if it gets out.
no. We apparently have had more recoveries than deaths at this point, though.
Yeah,
So that's encouraging.
it's hard if you're a healthy person. It's hard to actually succumb to it, but at the same time, like we're hoping that it doesn't mutate or anything weird. But thankfully, we're a little bit on top of this at this point. But I doubt it's gonna wipe out humanity or anything. But at the same time, be careful. Wash your hands, you
Wash your
filthy animals.
hands.
But yeah,
Spray yourself down with Lysol.
so that's the breaking news at this point. So that's all. Now that we've got that out of the way, we can jump into campus news.
Alrighty, so this week, the biggest thing right now is SOS applications are due today. So if you have one of those, you need to turn those in today during business hours to the student services office. You can turn them into anybody there, I think. Excuse me. But those are due today, so you need to get those in. Also, there's a reminder from registrar for people who are planning on graduating this spring to check your emails, your personal and your CBC emails, and to get your graduation, like your cap and gown orders done, because those are due on March 6th. That is in 2 days. It's Friday. So if you haven't ordered your cap and gown yet, you need to do that now.
Get it done.
Check your CBC and personal emails for the order forms from Miss Stacy Jordan in the registrar's office. So make sure that graduates, you are looking for those, and make sure to check your emails regularly for other updates as far as graduation goes. We do have something interesting going on next week, it looks like. So we have a couple of things going on next week. The Fine Arts Department is leaving for their Fine Arts Tour next Wednesday, and they will be gone from the 11th to the 15th. So that's like 60 people that are not going to be on campus for 3 days. But so that's happening. We're going to be touring across Arkansas and into Texas. I think Oklahoma. Maybe Oklahoma. We don't have a schedule yet. We're getting that today.
Fun.
So we're going to be, I know Mr. Gunter talked to us about it yesterday or Monday, and he said we have 6 concerts in 5 days. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of recruitment opportunities, and a lot of opportunities to share the gospel with people through that. So that's going to be super fun. We also have the musical review coming up in April. I still don't know the date, but it's going to be at 7 p.m., more than likely on a Thursday, Friday. So in April. So there is that. Also, we have something interesting going on in disability services. There is an influx of sight-impaired people who are interested in considering CBC as their school. So that is really, honestly, really cool. We've had one before that I'm aware of since I've been here. And so I'm actually, that's really cool. They're amazing people. And the school definitely has a lot of resources for them. So if you do end up coming across somebody who is sight impaired or who is fully blind, honestly, just treat them normally. That's really the biggest thing you can do, but make them feel welcome, because that has been
It's always exciting to get new students on campus. So
yes, and this it's just a really cool thing, because that's not something that you can say about every school, really. So
right.
That's just cool. But yeah, just make them feel welcome if you see one, and talk to them, that kind of a thing. But just a little fun thing from disability services that we learned about today. So I think, also, as far as an update for Brother Rains' classes go, it is official now, he is not going to be coming back this semester. He is on the schedule to start teaching again in the fall, but he is still recovering from whatever health issues he is having. The doctors still really aren't sure what's going on. But keep him in your prayers. You will, if you have a Brother Rand's class, you either have Dr. Bender, Dr. Slayton, or Dr. Duffield now for the remainder of the semester. So just keep that in mind. They should, if they haven't yet, they should be giving you, updates on how the class is going to look for the rest of the semester. Since they're going to be there for the rest of the semester, but he should be back in the fall, as far as I'm aware. Brother Rance will be. So just keep him in your prayers. Help him, pray for him to get better and stuff, and keep recuperating. Last time I heard, he's doing a little bit better, but he's still got a long road to go. But that is the update. The official update on that is he will not be back this semester, but he is on par to teach in the fall. So.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm glad that he's okay, that he's planning on coming back.
He's at home. He's not in the hospital, so that's good.
Hopefully, he'll be in better health next semester. So, but is that all we have for on
campus? That is all I
campus?
have for campus news. So why don't you inform us on sports?
All right, moving to sports balls. So first thing we have is the as far as golf goes. Let me see real quick. Just gotta make sure that they're both doing the same thing. They're not. Okay, so the men's golf team is going to have their first tournament this 9th and 10th at 8 a.m. in Oklahoma, I believe. Let me see where in Oklahoma. Yes. Bartlesville, Oklahoma. It'll be the Oklahoma Wesleyan Eagle Spring Classic at the Hillcrest Country Club. So, if you want to go down and support them for that, I know golf is not everybody's sport, but, I think there's a lot of patience and, kind of muse to it that makes it interesting and kind of relaxing to watch. But that'll be their first tournament of this season, so it'll be interesting to see how they perform, where they're going to be standing. So be sure to go in and watch them compete if you can, and at the very least, congratulate them and keep track of the results. So hopefully they'll place high. As far as women's golf, let's see. Oh man, they won't be competing until the 16th and 17th, so I will cover that next week. But all right. Moving on to baseball. So let's go over to March. So you can see March 6th, or their last game was against Ecclesia College. They had 2 games and they won both of them. First one 13-7, and the second one 8-2. Bringing their record up to 18-3.
Good job, guys!
Excellent start to this season. They'll be playing again on the 6th against William Woods University at 12 p.m. at the Owls Field. That is an away game. It'll be in Fulton, Missouri. They'll be playing 2 games that day, so be sure to cheer them on. The next day, on the 7th, they'll also be playing again against William Woods University at Owls Field. You can expect them back, though, on the 10th to be playing Williams Baptist University here at Victory Field at Conway Christian School. So be sure to show up and cheer them on for both of those games. They'll be playing twice. And, they'll be back from on the 10th, 13th, and 14th. Those will be their next home games before they go on the road again. So be sure to show up and cheer them on. I'm going to move through this fast because the clock is ticking down. 21-20 softball schedule. They'll be playing on March 6th as well against Oklahoma Wesleyan University at OKWU Softball Complex in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. They'll be playing 2 games. They'll be back on the 7th to play Ecclesia College here at the City of College's Park at 1501 Simon Morgan Drive at 12 p.m. Going to the women's basketball schedule. I have 40 seconds. So their last game was against St. Louis College of Pharmacy. They did lose 82-76, but they're looking to rally against number 11 Lyon College the March 5th, 7 at the American Midwest Conference Tournament quarterfinals. So cheer them on. We're hoping, and I'm going to go off air on the radio. If you're listening on air, go tune in on YouTube to hear the rest of the sports. Listen at cbctowerradio.com. All right. cbctowerradio.com, Mustang Informative. For all the people listening on the radio, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Okay, so continuing. Sorry, I always go overboard on the sports.
That's okay.
So,
We
once
have a lot
again,
to cover.
it's a lot of news, but everybody needs to know it, so I don't feel bad about it. The women's basketball schedule. Women's basketball will be playing once again. Number 11, Leon College at 7 p.m. Bartlesville, Arkansas. Batesville, sorry.
It looks very similar. It's so bad.
All right, Batesville, Arkansas.
That one's actually in state, so
yeah,
I
think you could probably make it to that one.
Yeah, if you can, go and cheer them on.
If you're a real fan.
If you're a real fan.
If you're a real super fan.
That's tomorrow at 7 p.m.
That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. And that'll be the American Midwest Conference Tournament quarterfinals at the Becknell Gymnasium. So be sure to show up, cheer them on. It's at 7 p.m. once again. And I believe if we go to the men's basketball, they'll be playing. Yep, they'll be playing the quarterfinals tonight. But that'll be a home game. So the last game was against St. Louis College of Pharmacy, which they won 81-71. Bringing their overall record to 20-8, which is, in my opinion, that's a really good season.
It is a really good season.
They'll be playing Missouri Baptist University tonight at 7 p.m. For the American Midwest Conference Tournament quarterfinals. It'll be at the Redden Fieldhouse. Bring your student ID.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Bring it.
Bring your ID. And we are the first seed in the conference right now. So go and cheer on your Mustangs if you can tonight. They are going to need all of the hype that they can get because this is a really big game for us.
Right.
So
our previous record has been 5-6 against Missouri Baptist, so we're going to need you to show up, cheer us on as we rally to take one off of them. So, and hopefully we'll advance in the Midwest Conference Tournament. That'd be great.
That'd be fantastic.
But yeah, once again, that's tonight, 7 p.m. Bring your ID. Moving on to track and field. So this is a men's outdoor track and field. Our last competition was on the 29th of February. We got 2nd of 6.
Good job.
It's pretty good, I think. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure.
I mean,
it's better than 6 of 6, I assume.
Yes.
So, our next event is going to be on the 6th of March this month. It'll be all day. It'll be at the Hendricks Alumni Relays. Let me get some details on this. Right. So that's all they tell me. So it'll be the Hendricks Alumni Relays. It'll be on Hendricks campus, I'm sure, at their track and field complex. So be sure to show up and cheer them on for that, and look at all the cool events. Because the best thing about track and field is they've got so many events that you can kind of enjoy and watch.
And that'll be all day on the 6th and on the 7th. So
yes.
That's Friday, Saturday.
Yep. It'll continue to the 7th. And then, so be sure to show up for those. Maybe take a day and relax on those days to get some fresh air and cheer our guys on. The next tournament after that will be on the 13th and the 14th at the UCA Spring Opener. So we'll cover that in more depth next week, I believe.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to women's. They'll be competing at the same events, same bat time, same bat channel. But yeah, so be sure to show up and cheer on our guys and girls at those events. So
it's Friday and Saturday.
It'll be fun to
know.
Yeah. Do they do the javelin toss in these events?
I do not know.
I hope so. That's the coolest one, in my opinion.
I do not know.
I also like the discus toss.
I know they have a pole vault.
Oh boy, do they have a long jump?
Probably.
They should. Long jump is also cool.
But I know one pole vaulter, so.
As much as I like watching people run in circles, sometimes I just want to watch a man jump really far. So. But yeah, show up and cheer our guys on for that, and go and hang out. Maybe get some friends together and chill.
It'll be fun to watch if nothing else.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, that's it. That's all I have for sports, and I think that brings our show today to a close. So, you guys have been listening to the Mustang Informative. We'll be back next week from 11:10 to 11:30. You guys have been listening to your hosts, DJ Husky
and DJ Sawyer.
and we're signing out. Thanks for coming and listening.